Sean, it is the Mets. It's not the Mets.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, that's where numbers do lie sometimes, like they say.
Nah, numbers don't lie. They work. That's how I've done things throughout the years. Just like I said, there's a 59.2% chance. That means there's a 47.1% chance that they're going to go the other way. But when you have the math working to your favor, if you make that bet 100 times, you win basically 59. So that's $5,900. You lose 41. That's minus 41. You're up plus 1,800. Just yesterday happened to be on that negative side. But the math absolutely worked in the Montreal game for soccer because, that line should have been a lot worse actually for Montreal than it was. And they ended up winning 4-1. So I made a mistake yesterday doing that stupid bonus thing. I hate those things, man. It's why in the world it seems like they know something, and that's why they put it out there. Like, okay, here you go. Let us take your money because you feel like you're getting away with something here. Good pitching matchup. Yeah. Max Fried, bang, Buster Posey. First time he's hit a home run in like 74 years, and guy's been cold on that home run front. And then what are you going to do? So you're down on that one. So new rule for Rich. No more bonuses unless it's one of those things like pound the under or pound the over or whatever. And, it's so ridiculous that you can't lose. Yeah, those are the only bonuses I'm doing. I do like to take like the 50% bonuses where I get to pick which one I'm going to use it on, not where they get to pick where I use it on.
Yeah, exactly. Those ones with the pound is basically a free bet. They just put a limit on how much you're going to win, but those are great. I haven't seen one of those in a little bit.
Well, I'd imagine with the NFL coming up on week 1, you'll see some kind of bonuses out there that are too good to pass up. But I'm not going to take ones they dictate anymore. I'm just going to take the ones where where they give you like the 50% bonus on a baseball game every week. I use that one. I think I've hit on the ones I've used that on in a ridiculous amount. So those are the only ones I'm going to use anymore.
I got real lucky with the Jets Hail Mary and the 2-point conversion to tie and void that game. I got lucky in the pick with Kansas City and Jets parlay plus on my personal account. I ended up getting like $100 back just on that play alone.
So you put $100 on?
No, I had parlays with Jets Kansas City together. So they voided the Jets and they paid me just for Kansas City. So I got my $40 back plus made, like $20. And then I had Kansas City, the Jets, Tampa Bay, and another baseball team as well. So the Jets were the only one about to lose, and they tied it to avoid it out. So then it became a 3-team parlay that I ended up winning.
I see. Well, that's the difference between you and me, Sean. I give you blessings. You give me curses. You text me, what's going on with the White Sox, the Cubs? Oh, my God. And I'm like, hey, last time the Cubs scored 6 runs in the first inning, they lost. They were down 6. They were down 7. Actually, they scored 7 in the first inning against Milwaukee. And they were down 7 by the time the end of the 4th inning came around. Well, this time I think they were up 6 and down 7 by the end of the 4th inning. So that's got to be some kind of major league record for the futility. Absolutely. My AAA Cubs. All right. A lot of ground to cover today. A lot of ground to cover. So let's talk about NFL football first. Anything you like in the NFL schedule today, Sean?
Buffalo's obviously going to win. I would not give up 9.5 points in a preseason game. The interesting one here is Baltimore, who's won, I don't even know what their streak's up to now, like 17 straight preseason games. They're giving up 3.5 to Washington. I don't know about giving up the points, but they're going to win. So maybe parlay Baltimore and Buffalo together.
Yeah, I've made my point clear on preseason football. There's only one game, and they're not playing today, that I might take. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait 2 weeks and play the real game when you're going to get the starters and everybody's going to play the way they're supposed to play. I know yesterday Drew said that Denver plans on playing their starters the entire game, and they're an 8.5 point favorite. I don't even know if their starters are playing the entire game, if they should be an 8.5 point favorite.
Well, that's probably another one you could throw on the parlay and take Denver, but I highly doubt. I would take that bet right now. They're never going to play their starters that whole game.
No, I probably not. Teddy Bridgewater named the starter over Drew Lock. So that should be pretty interesting. I don't like anything in football today, in college football at all. In pro football. I'm just going to stay away from that altogether. So is there anything you're doing in the NFL, or can we move on to college football?
We can move on.
Okay, NCAA football goes live today with games that actually count. So the players are going to play. Sean, I know you like something in here. So which one? Illinois, Nebraska. This is the game that you like, I think. And you're getting the Illini, the Fighting Illini at home, new coach, and still on the at-home underdogs in the Big Ten. Nothing new.
Yeah, but they're getting a touchdown. They beat Nebraska last year in Nebraska in November, 41-23. Their whole team pretty much returns. They get a new head coach, Brett Bielema from Wisconsin. Nebraska is who they are. Scott Frost is on the hot seat. Adrian Martinez is back again. I really like Illinois here getting a touchdown. They might even do the upset, but I would take the points and be really confident on a touchdown.
Yeah, right. So you can get minus 107 for that. Is your really confidence translating into a bet? Or
yeah. Confident? Oh, yeah. Nope. Official bet here. Illinois +7, $30. Like I said, I would take a flyer on them in my personal account, and I'd recommend on possibly winning this game. I just don't see it for Nebraska. Illinois is going to be fired up here. Most of their team, they've already matched up well with Nebraska. Brett Bielema is changing things around in Illinois. Way better of a coach than Lovie Smith, so things should change in Illinois here. Plus, he's been really secretive in the offseason on what he's doing. So Nebraska doesn't know what to expect right now.
Yeah, they just watch Wisconsin tape. They'll know exactly the kind of offense. He's going to run, and have a pretty bad quarterback, but still somehow manage to win and play defense, which is easy to do if you can get the guy's name Watt.
The only difference here is Illinois does have some mobile quarterbacks, so he'll be able to use that too, which you really didn't get to use at Wisconsin.
They had the top defense last year in terms of takeaways too, I think, in the Big Ten, and one of the best in the country, Illinois. That's a Lovie Smith hallmark, though. I don't know if that's a Brett Bielema hallmark or not. I know he's just run a lot of those Wisconsin teams, just big offensive linemen, people named Watt that can get to the quarterback, and then and they just kind of grind you. The
other one, we're just going to go down the list, right?
Yeah. So Connecticut and Fresno State. I mean, it's tough to say in that one. Connecticut, I think, if I read correctly, was playing FBS teams and having a very difficult time stopping them from scoring. So I don't know how they're going to stop Fresno State from scoring. And they're flying all the way across the country. But 4 touchdowns, that's a heck of a lot to give up.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to do this because Connecticut didn't play at all last year. They just practiced. Fresno State, they returned some people. Even Ronnie Rivers gets an extra year due to the fact that it didn't count last year and he decided to return. So Fresno State should score in bunches here. And Connecticut doesn't really score. And like I said, they're going to be rusty. Haven't played a game in 2 years. Fresno State should cover this.
So what are you going to do with that?
Official play, Fresno State giving up, 27.5?
Mm-hmm. Then you get minus 108.
Minus 108, yep.
Yeah, for me, I had to stay away from that. There's just nothing I can say about Connecticut. 4 touchdowns. See, college football, teams win by 50 points. Fresno State probably covers this game, but there's nothing I can say about this one. Hawaii and UCLA. Hawaii opened up as a 9-point underdog, and that lane exploded to 17.5. So that's pretty interesting and kind of scary, but what do you think about that spot?
I couldn't go either way here. Probably a lot of points. The only thing is Hawaii not at home. I will say the defense played a lot better last year, but then their offense wasn't scoring as much. UCLA is going to play that up-tempo Chip Kelly style. They got Victorian Robinson. It was tough for me to go either way here. I even thought about the under because of Hawaii's defense being good and their offense, but UCLA is going to really push the pace here. It's hard to take an under in a UCLA game.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take Hawaii in this spot. Hawaii has a pretty, like you mentioned, a good defense. They have a very solid secondary. They have a gentleman by the name of Cortez Davis, who might be one of the top cornerbacks in the country. Their defense is going to be better than expected. I think their offense last year started because it was the first year under a new coach. This year, they had a whole year of spring practice. I feel like the offense will be much better. The UCLA squad under Chip Kelly has really kind of struggled with that run and gun kind of style offense, especially with mobile quarterbacks. Hawaii brings that to the table. I don't like the fact that the line moves so much from 9 to 17.5, but it could be a lot of that Southern California money on there. I'm going to go ahead and put an official bet on Hawaii. $30. They'll cover that 17.5. I feel like, and I think that actually, if their defense plays the way I expect it'll play, I think maybe they have a chance to actually possibly win the game outright. But I don't have the courage to do that. Looking at the tickets, it's 17.5 points. The money is about 55% on the Hawaii squad. Going back to your game, Illinois is getting 60% of the money, and Fresno State is giving 74% of the money. I have Hawaii losing, but I only have them losing by about a touchdown. So that 10 points, that opening line, would have made me a little bit more nervous, but the current line doesn't make me nervous that much.
What do you get with the plus 17.5, like minus 110?
I am getting minus 105. So that line's probably going to go back to 18 if you were patient, I would guess.
Yeah.
Next up is UTEP and New Mexico State. Again, I don't have a dog in this fight at all, but I would think that isn't when there's supposed to be a San Diego State game today too? I mean, not San Diego, San Jose State. Did that game down on the board or something?
It should be Southern Utah, San Jose State. San Jose State's 24.5-point favorites.
Yeah, but I don't see them here on the board, but whatever reason. But anyway, anything on UTEP and New Mexico State for you?
No, I don't have anything on that. Really didn't research that one. Just this, if you're going to play this one, this would just be on the fact that it's opening weekend of college football and you're looking for action.
Well, I mean, I feel like UTEP, it was a pretty good squad last year, a much improved team, probably on the way up. And New Mexico State, they're I think pretty limited. They'll try to run the ball. UTEP has a decent defense, pretty good offense. I would probably be inclined, if I were going to take anything, to lean UTEP here. And then finally, you mentioned that there is another game that's not on the roster here, and that's San Jose State, and they're playing Southern Utah, right? Southern Utah is another team that I think last year really didn't get a chance to play much.
Yeah.
And San Jose State, I think they made it through the season with maybe one or no losses.
Yeah, they played really well. I would expect San Jose State to cover this spread. They're definitely going to win. I would expect them to cover the spread. I'm not going to make it an official play, but this is one that you could look at, do further research, and San Jose State might be a good play.
Well, they have a quarterback, I think, that's going to have a shot to make it to the NFL.
Yep.
The kid was SEC, I guess maybe a little bit of a troublemaker when he was younger, or didn't get along with his coaches. I don't know what it was, but he got bounced out of it. I think he went to Arkansas first or something along those lines. But kid's got an arm, big arm. Absolutely, they played great. I watched a lot of San Jose State games last year. Their defense is really good. They're going to get after whoever plays quarterback for Southern Utah. Never even heard of Southern Utah before, but isn't that where they have like I don't know, like camps and stuff? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like very open. I don't know. I've never heard of anything from Southern Utah. But in any respect, I expect that San Jose State will probably do a pretty good job of limiting South Utah's offense, and I feel like their offense is going to be pretty strong. Yeah, what's the line there? But just to me, 28 points opening day.
24.5.
Yeah, I expect teams to make mistakes out of the gates,
And Nick Starkel is the quarterback we're talking about. Yeah, he was a transfer from Arkansas, and he put up great numbers last year and had that offense really moving.
Yeah, he's 100% legit. He'll be drafted in the NFL next year. In fact, he opted to come back this year. He could have went to the NFL because he would have been drafted, no question about it. Let's go on to Major League Baseball, Boston and Cleveland. Sean, anything in the Boston-Cleveland matchup for you?
No, I don't have anything here.
Yeah, me either. If I was thinking about, though, taking Cleveland in this spot, getting a plus line, they do have some advantages in the game, but the Boston team is the team that tends to score more runs. So I will go ahead and just lean the Guardians to be.
I do believe, like Eovaldi, too. His ERA is under 4, but he feels like he always gets hit.
Your Yankees came through for you last night. Are you going to take the Yankees again today?
No, and honestly, people have been in Oakland the last 2 nights looking to break the Yankee streak. I think this is the best case scenario for Oakland to steal this game with Montas going and only Cortez going for the Yankees. I think this might be a shot where Yankee streak comes to an end, but I don't trust it enough to make a bet.
No. All right. The Kansas City Royals versus the Seattle Mariners. I wanted to take the Mariners yesterday, and I should have taken them in the run line. I didn't. Right now, the Mariners are – let's just find this down here real
Well, you
quick.
shouldn't have taken them last night. They ended up losing.
Oh, did they end up losing? Well, I went to bed. Good thing. I didn't do it. So Mariners today are minus 150. 84% of the money is on the Mariners. I'm not going to take them today either, but I was thinking about it.
Yeah, I got Daniel Lynch listed as one, and then I got Carlos Hernandez listed as another. I think it's Daniel Lynch. This is one I'm going to pass, but I was kind of interested in Kansas City, but I'm going to pass on it.
Well, right now the Mariners are taking in all of the money. They're taking in about 85 cents on the dollar, but only about 60% of the tickets. So that tells me that a lot of the folks are on some of the smart money expecting Seattle to win one in this series, I guess. Next up is the Philadelphia Phillies against Arizona. You almost caught one last night because the Phillies team, their great relief pitching allowed them to be tied in the top of the ninth. But in those games where they put somebody on second base, they did find a way to bring somebody home. Are you going to try to bite that Arizona apple again, or have you had enough?
No, I'm not going to try to bite it again, but I would not take the Phillies and throw them on any parlays or anything, as they just have not played good against Arizona this year.
No, they managed to take out a win yesterday. It was
they were down 2 in the bottom of the 10th, and they needed a home run. So I wouldn't go there. But yeah, I'm not going to go Arizona neither. Not enough.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But the Phillies right now are the ones that are taking in the money. They're taking in almost 80 cents, but actually more than half of the tickets are on Arizona. So the smart money, so to speak, is kind of back in the Philadelphia team. Next up is Cincinnati and Miami. Yesterday, Cincinnati made easy work of Miami. You expect them to do it again today?
Yeah, I'm going to grab Cincinnati here and make an official play. Minus 120. They're rolling again. And
yeah, minus 1. Well, you can get minus 109.
Minus 109. Yeah, I think that's a good value for a team that's starting to roll again. Miami is not. The only concern would be Sandy Alcantara going for Miami. But I think Cincinnati will get enough runs against them, and Miami's not going to score very much.
Yeah, Miami hasn't been scoring very much, that's for sure. But still, Miami still has that run line advantage. And I know that Cincinnati, I just can't go against it. It is a 50-50 game, and I'm not getting a 50-50 number out of Cincinnati squad. I want to lean or take Cincinnati, but I can't. As far as the public is concerned, more than 70% of the public is backing the Reds or are backing the Reds, whereas there's about 2/3 of the public, so a little bit less money on the Reds. Toronto and Detroit, I mentioned last night. Detroit was probably my favorite home underdog, and they came through in a 2-1 game against Toronto. I didn't take them, but today they're again a home underdog, but I don't have such love today for the Tigers.
No, the pitching matchup really favors Toronto here with Manaea going against Arena. I couldn't go either way because I didn't want to give up a run and a half and pay a minus 130 price tag neither.
Yeah, me either. I don't want to pay that price tag, but they're not my favorite home dog today whatsoever at all. St. Louis and Pittsburgh. You got the Buccos playing the Cardinals. The Cardinals are taking in most of the money in this spot, as you would imagine they would. They're playing against one of the teams that has the worst run line differential in all of baseball. Cardinals, 3/4 of the bets, 3/4 of the money. They own all of the advantages, but the price that you have to pay for the Cardinals is way too high, in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trusting this Cardinals team, giving up a run and a half and negative.
And surprisingly, there's a negative run line in there too. So yeah. I didn't like that either. So that just tells you how much the folks at Vegas feel like the Cardinals are going to win this game easily. Tampa Bay and Baltimore. I should have did my 3-team parlay yesterday. I know you said don't take the Houston squad, but they came back to win. My 3-team parlay actually paid and won 209. So maybe I should have done that. I don't have a minus 200 parlay today. But you got John Means on the mound for Baltimore. Maybe they can squeeze one out in this series against Tampa Bay and do so at plus 171, although Tampa does have the ability to score against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, this is definitely a case where Baltimore's going to win one. This is good with John Means, but I'm passing both teams.
The money right now is almost 100%, and it's early in the morning on Tampa Bay. So obviously, the smart money doesn't feel like John Means can overcome the enormous run differential advantage and power ranking advantage that Baltimore has. So that maybe it'd be a team that you can throw in there because they're not 200. So if you get minus 185 and make yourself a parlay again, maybe Houston and Texas. Texas is again a big underdog, and Houston didn't burn the 3-team parlay yesterday, so maybe they don't burn the 3-team parlay again today. Houston getting about 90 cents on the dollar on the bets, but only a little less than 70% of the bets. So a lot of smart money backing Houston at minus 229. This is really stretching themselves out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, Houston tried to burn those parlays yesterday again. They came back and saved themselves. I would have the same motto here, just avoid the game.
Tampa Bay, we did that. Washington and the New York Mets, oh my Lord, those Mets, that offense is just absolutely brutal. When that guy yesterday, Paulo Espinino, when he pitched, they gave up like 7 runs, 8 runs a game. They couldn't even get 8 hits. Just brutal. Guy after guy. I mean, they strike out. Oh my God. They strike out more than I don't even know. I was going to say some joke, but anyway, they strike out so often. They're terrible. I can't see laying 210 on the Mets, but I can't take plus 180 with Washington.
No, Sam Nolan has an ERA of 9 and some in a little bit of action this year. He's a left-handed pitcher. I don't think the Mets do all that great against lefties, but I'm not taking it. It's amazing how teams can look so great in the first half of the year and just look so awful in the second half. And that's what we got going on with the Mets right now.
They're terrible. Cubs and the White Sox. I think the Cubs could probably spot the White Sox 6 runs in the first inning and probably still lose. Lance Lynn today, I mean, this is another. I think the run line's like minus 145. White Sox win. So maybe I'll think about a 3-team parlay. Sean, if I put together Tampa Bay, Houston, and the White Sox again, what am I going to get? Take a look at that for me, will you?
Yep.
And then, I just pass because you just can't do anything in that spot. Milwaukee and Minnesota. I'm actually going to take the spot because Milwaukee has they're a little bit, I think they're 15 and 14 against left-handed pitching. Barnes has really struggled to get people out. Hauser has pitched pretty well as of late. And I can get the better team in terms of power ranking. They've played better. And the run scoring team. So actually Milwaukee has the best pitching staff on the road, which is kind of interesting. They pitch better on the road than they do at home, yet they have one of the best pitching staffs in the National League. And then you're talking about a team that should be able to outscore Minnesota. It's one that I might be comfortable going run line in, but I'm just going to take the Milwaukee Brewers. Minus 145 is the best number I can get for $30, Sean. So that's my second play of the day.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Milwaukee should be able to win this game. Price is a little, I mean, it's fair. It's in your range, but I don't want to take them at minus 145. And to answer your question, DraftKings plus 185 for your parlay.
Plus what?
185.
Plus 185. Yeah, it's just one of those 3 teams will probably burn it. I got 3 plays today anyway, but that's something you might want to consider again because I feel like all 3 of those teams have a chance to win. San Francisco and Atlanta, there's a big pitching matchup advantage for the Giants here. I know Atlanta's playing exceptionally well, and every time I bet against Atlanta, I end up actually losing. But I'm going to do it today because I feel like I got the better team in San Francisco. They have one of the best offenses on the road. Atlanta can score some runs too. But I just feel like this is – I don't see Atlanta sweeping San Francisco. I feel like this is a game San Francisco can get. I can get plus 107. That was better than last night's number. So I'm going to go ahead and take San Francisco, another $30, Sean, at plus 107.
So this is actually one I was going to take the Hot Braves. I'm not an official play, but if I would take a bet here, I would take the Hot Braves. Maybe this is a case, like you said, this Unia for Atlanta, maybe he evens out a little bit. I mean, his ERA is pretty low. He is due for a bad game.
Well, his ERA is like 2 points below its career. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
he's not that good of a pitcher. But, I mean, unless he found something new, you never know. Might be some, maybe they got some Tommy John surgery and added a little bit of fastness to his his fastball. But when you look at the game right now, 82% of the tickets are on the Giants and 64% of the money. So I think that the Giants are a good spot here. I just feel like plus 107 on a game that is at least 50-50. It probably favors the San Francisco squad, 52, 53% to 47%, somewhere in there, and I'm getting plus 107. I got to take that. San Diego and the Los Angeles Angels. San Diego, two pair of lefties. Suarez has not pitched bad lately. I think maybe another home team that you might think against the kind of scuffling along San Diego squad, and Weathers just not pitched so well.
Yeah, this is one I wanted to go to San Diego, but I didn't trust Weathers since he hasn't pitched that great, and he only goes 3-4 innings sometimes. So I think Suarez hasn't pitched bad, but I think his last start he got roughed up a little bit. So this is a pass for me.
Yeah, if you're thinking about that game, most of the money is on the Braves, is on San Diego, as are the tickets. Last spot, Colorado versus the Dodgers. David Price, John Gray. I mean, I don't know that David Price is twice the pitcher. John Gray. I think if the Dodgers had their choice, they'd probably take John Gray.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said yesterday, Colorado was interesting because they give the Dodgers fits sometimes. I mean, they're division opponents, so that happens. Maybe this is another one. You take a flyer on Colorado just with the pitching matchup. You get.
Yeah, I have a hard time Colorado on the road. I know they've gotten better in the second half of the season on the road, but they're still not good on the road.
Yeah, if you're going to take anything, you take a flyer on Colorado's money line and put a couple dollars on it. But other than that, I wouldn't touch it.
Yeah, me either. So in baseball, I got San Francisco plus 107. I have the Milwaukee Brewers at minus 145. I think I have it, Em. And what do you have in baseball, Sean?
I just have Cincinnati money line over Miami at minus 109.
All right. One last sport to deal with, and that's the MLS. Yesterday, the folks in Vegas made a mistake. That mistake was Montreal in a plus line. I didn't make such a mistake today, in my opinion. There's only one game I like in there, and it's a negative line. I usually don't do that, but I'm going to take the New York Red Bulls minus 110 for another 30 versus the Chicago Fire. The Fire this season on the road, Sean, I think have scored 5 goals, something stupid low like that in 10 games, so a half a goal a game. And you can imagine when you score a half a goal a game, you don't win very many. They are on the road this year, 8 losses, 2 draws. And in the last 5 games against the Red Bulls in New York, the New York Red Bulls have 4 wins and a draw. So they've not lost to the Fire. Or maybe one of them was a loss in there. I don't know. All those numbers add up. They have the goal differential, big time advantage over the Chicago Fire on the road. So I'm going to put another 30 on the New York Red Bulls. So for me today, I have Hawaii plus 117. Yeah, I'll take them.
Sign me up too. Yeah.
Can I mortgage the house? I have Hawaii plus 17.5. I have the Milwaukee Brewers minus 145. I have the San Francisco Giants plus 107 and the New York Red Bulls in the MLS for minus 110. 4 plays for me in a day. That's a lot.
Yeah, and I only have 3, so you have more plays than I do. I got Fresno State giving up 27.5. Illinois plus 7 against Nebraska, and then the Reds minus 109 versus Miami.
Absolutely. Well, a lot of action out there for you. I'm sure there's things that you like, whatever you like. Let us know about it on MoneylineMadman.com. Head on over there, register. It's free. We want to build a great community of like-minded sports betting people. So make sure you head over to MoneylineMadman.com, register. We'll be rolling out some more content on there for sure soon. Make sure, too, you sign up and follow us at Racing Radar on both Facebook and on Twitter. And head on over to our sponsor, that is HorseRacingRadar.com. They have a $100 contest today. It's live for the Saratoga racetrack, which is just loaded with incredible races today. Myself and Terry and maybe another partner, Tom, will break down every single race, 10 minutes to post, let you know why each horse has a chance to win, the kind of running style that wins at the surface and distance, and then, of course, make our picks. Sean, anything else before we roll?
It's my girlfriend's birthday today, so happy birthday to my beautiful girlfriend, Hillary.
Happy birthday, Hillary. Make Sean spend all of his winnings on you. All right, folks. Until we see you again Monday at what about 4:30 p.m. Eastern time?
Yep.
May all of your tickets be winners.